Of Scoutti. Scoutti is a crowd-enabled, real-time photos on demand for the journalism industry. Let's go.
Check. Okay. That's okay. We at Scoutti see all of you as reporters. And don't be scared, because you do it already. You tweet, you share photos all the time from newsworthy events like today. But there is something very inefficient in the way we do it, which makes it very difficult for the media to use it on a regular basis. And this is what we do at Scoutti. We crowdsource news in real time more efficiently both for the media and for the users. My name is Shai. We are 3 Israelis working on Scoutti. Many years of experience in real-time environments. Most of them was in Israeli military, which is probably one of the most time-sensitive organizations in the world. And we have Kevin on our side, which helps us a lot on the marketing and business development. The beauty of Scoutti is that we take everything we love in social networks and we add credibility of news agencies. And together we have Scoutti, which is a social platform which allows every user to report and to explore news in a visual way, and for the media to easily find and publish content directly from our platform. This is how Scoutti looks like today. It's the actual application, you can download it, and this is what you see. This is what you're supposed to see. Been told it's working. Anyway, users can explore through users' reports. Same thing as Instagram, everything is photos, and everything is in a visual way. They can dig in deeper, see photos, comment in real time, interact with reporters. They can get more information, request for more information in real time. And if they have something to report, they just click on the plus button that you can see if you download it, not on the screen. And then they can just write what they're seeing. They can select if they want to broadcast it in real time to news sites worldwide and in the country. And this is the easiest way that you can do it today, by far, in comparison to any other services. We also support photography missions, which allows you to write what you want to see and the location you want to get photos in the future videos from. And we notify immediately in real time users at that location that can help you by uploading photos. And this is, again, the easiest way to outsource photography missions. Other services in the market are either expensive and limited, filled with irrelevant content, or mainly attract semi-professional users. None of them really provide a good solution both for the media and for regular users like you and I. I will show with a quick example how we can improve the situation. On April 19th, this photo was tweeted as part of the Boston Marathon events. It was retweeted almost 14,000 times, impacting millions. The media picked it up, but for some of them it took hours, and they had to request for permission to use the photo on their own channel, and they had to ensure the credibility of the photo because there were similar things like that. With Scoutti, all these problems are gone. Everything is always automatically geotagged, so there is no issue in finding it easily and fast. You can find similar photos that you couldn't find if you wouldn't use the correct hashtag. No credibility issues because you know it was taken at the real time, and publication is done automatically. You don't need to ask for approval time and time again. We have an initial business model that we are focusing on, basically a subscription or marketplace for user-generated content. And we are focusing at the moment on news content. We can see ourselves making nice revenues out of that. But this is only the beginning, because once we have more traction and more users, of course, it opens up the door for other business models. And even before we have 1 million users, we can apply professional services to the media or marketing activities. And these are things that we talk about at the moment, actually. So we're working on Scoutti 8 months already, iterating both on the product and the service. We have had conversations with the biggest media groups in Spain and Israel, and actually even Al Jazeera, which we take no measures. And we had competition with London School of Arts in a photography competition. We started building relationships with bloggers. And we are next week going to Ireland, except drinking Guinness, we present IE in a competition there. So we're very excited about all of this. And this is what we are continue doing in the near future to promote Scoutti moving on. We are starting to seek for funding, basically for 2 stages. First one, to continue improving the service a little bit more and to develop partnerships, and then boost marketing and further development. I will close with this photo. Probably most of you have seen it. The revolution of the media and the news is already here. Scoutti, we make it easier, more social, more engaging, and we bring innovation to an industry that is really in need for that. So you are welcome to download it and cover the events of Venture Day, and thank you very much. There is a Q&A or not?
Yep.
Yeah.
There are a number of players in your space. Who do you see kind of the closest competition, and why do you think you're gonna be better?
I think there is there are two types of competition as we see it. The obvious one is Twitter because of its size and because, as I said, people already reporting news. They don't feel like they're reporting, but they do it. So the biggest challenge is to attract the usage of Twitter and the news related and move it to Scoutti in that way. The way that we engage that challenge is that we're not competing with them. It's not now in the application, but it's a week from now. You can, while you report on Scoutti, it's automatically tweeted. So we're not competing with them, we're complementing them in order to be more efficient for the media and for users to have more impact while they're reporting. Second type of competition that we are very paying close attention to is the citizen journalism sphere, which is you have a lot of small competitors in a way, none of them really making a large impact. The biggest one is Scoopshot, and they are also crowdsourcing photos, but none of them, not the smaller ones, are doing that in a social way that we are used to from our social applications, social services. And this is how we differentiate from them. And it's something in the core of the company. It's not something that you change by changing a feature. It's something that you need to think of always. So I show the business model. If the business model, the early business model is going to affect the user experience and create barriers for usage or not be able to create a community like we saw earlier today, this is something that we prefer to focus on the social aspect, to build a community, to make everyone in this audience to feel like they can report, and then move on to later strategies involving revenues. And I think this is the main difference between us and them.
Okay, sorry, I have a question. You said you've been around for 8 months. Mm-hmm. So what metrics do you have that would suggest that you're anywhere close to a product market fit?
I have a lot of metrics of Skype usage. The metrics that we have in the past 8 months, we are not from journalism industry. So we had to really understand the industry. So from the beginning, we understood that by crowdsourcing photos in real time, we can impact deeply the industry if we can do it right. So from the beginning, it was something that we wanted to do. It took us a lot of time to understand the industry, and we did it by meeting people, by talking with editors, journalists, photographers, photojournalists, users, seeing the market as it develops, and seeing what other companies in the industry is doing. And we got to this point a month and a half ago that we feel that we nailed down in a much better way what we are doing, in a way that when we talk to potential partners, like, for example, Europa Press is here, we sat with them, nothing has come up of that, for example, but we understand each other when we talk, we see the mutual value that we have for each other, and it took us that time to do. The metrics, for your question, is that we're focusing on how many users are actually uploading things, uploading reports, and how many are actually viewing things on Scoutti. And this is the main challenge that we focus on at the moment. We haven't focused on improving that metrics because we said to ourselves we want to be experts. So we focus on other things, and now we are focusing on this. This is our focus at the moment. This is why we're doing better stuff in the development.
You mentioned you're raising money for user acquisition. So tell me a little bit on what a current hypothesis on user acquisition and strategy there.
Okay, so people in the back can hear me or? Hello? The user acquisition that I'm talking about at the beginning is not the massive user acquisition that is usually referred to as user acquisition. It's mainly we have a few aspects in the product itself that we know by user feedback that is going to improve both user acquisition on a small scale and both to be able to have a more informal conversation with the partners that we aim to get. Because our main strategy at the beginning is to get exposure to a large user base through the partnerships. Because they have a reader base, this is not my time now. They have a reader base, and we have a platform, and we think that we can help each other. And this is what we're focusing on. So the funds in the beginning is mainly to improve that experience for the users, and to be able to continue approaching professionally with these potential partners.
Excellent. Thank you, Shay. We'll leave it at that. Good job again. Great, let's go.